Today we're running our off-grid driveway dry camping test with the Ford F150's Propower onboard 7.2 kilowatt generator option. We're seeing how well the truck runs our power system on our RV with the air conditioner running. Basically looking to see how much gas we're using and how quickly we can get things cooled down in there on a hot day. Just started to drizzle a little bit here, but it's been 90 degrees and cooling down pretty quick inside the RV. So let's take a look. Currently we're drawing about 2200 watts. With the adapter plugged in to tap one of the legs, we're now using the B leg and using 2200 watts here. We were up to about 3000 watts when we were running the AC and the fridge full bore. This tells me that the AC is probably holding at our set temperature, so it looks like we're maybe using a little bit less. Maybe it's kicked down into medium or low power mode to kind of maintain where we're at, or maybe the fridge is slowing down a bit, but we'll take a look. This is definitely a bit down from where our peak usage was. Also, we're looking at how the range is being affected, effectively how much gas we're using in the truck to run the Propower on board. Let's take a closer look at that. With the air conditioner and refrigerator connected now for the last couple of hours, our range has gone from 305 miles to empty to 282 miles to empty in about 2 hours of testing, with the air conditioner on full blast and the refrigerator going from a warm start to try to cool it down. So basically worst case scenario for both of those devices. So we've used 23 miles of range. It's a little over a gallon and a quarter in that 2 hours, so about 0.63 gallons per hour of running the generator with essentially full load conditions. So that's been our experience at between 2100 and 3000 watts, depending on how hard the air conditioner or refrigerator are working at any given moment. So real world test, 2 hours of usage, about a gallon and a quarter for those 2 hours. We're cycling through all sorts of weather patterns today. So we had rain earlier and now it's back to hot sunshine beating down. About mid 80s now. It's about 90 degrees earlier, cooled off after the rain shower. We're still drawing an average of about 2000 watts. We are running both the air conditioner and the refrigerator right now. And we've reduced our range by 42 miles from when we started the test. And at 17.9 gallons, 17.9 miles per gallon, that means we've used 2.34 gallons in the test total. And we've been running about 5.5 hours. So it's about, now it's down to about half a gallon per hour. A little under that, 0.42, according to my back of the envelope kind of calculations here. So we'll see. The purpose of the test is to see how long we can run the generator with close to full practical load, the load that we would practically have when we are dry camping. We've been running our test about 6.5 hours, and the freezer is pretty cold, down to about 11.5 degrees, 12 degrees with the door open. And the 44.6 in the fridge. Running pretty well. Still running our test, and dropped the air conditioner down to low. So it's down to about 1900 watts. The fridge is still running. And we burned about 3.3 gallons of fuel. Our range is down to 247 to empty. So test is running well. All right, been about 12 hours since we've been running the freezer and fridge. The freezer is down to 5 degrees. And the fridge is down to 36 degrees. So after 12 hours, it's down to pretty cold temperatures. So after about 12 hours, we're down to 232 miles of range, about 73 miles range less than when we started. Equals about 4.5 gallons or so. This truck holds about 35 gallons of gas, so you can do the math there. It's a pretty good reservoir, especially now that we're drawing all the way down to 600 watts overnight as the fridge has reached temperature and the air conditioner is working much less hard. So looking pretty good for our long-term power test with the F150 Propower onboard option.
(8:30 a.m.) Time to check on the truck. All right, still going strong. Looks like we're at 193 miles to empty at 8:30 a.m. And the AC unit is still running. So far, so good. Still have another 3 hours on this 24-hour test.
So Ella the Excella has been running her startup operation here for about a day. Now, we started her up when it was 90 degrees in midsummer here in Chicago, and we wanted to see how much energy it would take to get her started up, cooled off, get the fridge cooled down, and ready to accept cold items so that it can maintain its temperature. And it's averaged between 2,000 watts during the heat of the day, like we've got again now, and 600 watts overnight. So we've used a total of less than 5 gallons of fuel, and the Ford F150 holds about 35 gallons of fuel. So just some back of the envelope math there says that we could do that for about a week, and that's pretty maybe not worst case scenario, but pretty close to it. So seems like a viable option for boondocking, especially if we can, you know, use our batteries as sort of an energy ballast to let her run while we're away, go pick up fuel, and then be back to run our generator very quietly and have Ella fully operational off the grid.